Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Counseling Sessions with Anita Omeke. If you've not subscribed to this channel, maybe you're here for the first time or you've been coming but forgetting to subscribe, why not? Please subscribe, like, comment and share this video, and God bless you. So today we are going to be talking about male child versus female child. That's male conception versus female conception. Okay, so as we already know in my introductory video, in case you've not watched it, please do well to check my videos and watch it. You'll know more about me. Excuse me, I'm a registered nurse midwife by profession. So by the grace of God, we have some knowledge and also experience because it worked for me. I have 3 beautiful children, a girl first and 2 boys. So it worked for me, especially for my second child, which is a boy. The first child, that was the first, so we just left ourselves to fate. I think whatever God has ordained it to be, good and fine. And it was a girl, hallelujah. The second one, we're like, okay, since we have a girl, let's apply the knowledge of science to get a boy. And it worked for us. Like, God helped us, it worked for us. The third one, it just happened. And to the glory of God, it was a boy. So I'm talking out of knowledge and out of experience. Okay, disclaimer: children is a heritage of the Lord. I'm a Christian and I believe the word of God. No matter the knowledge of science, God is God and everything still rests in his hands. So that being said, let's dive down to what we have for the day. Now, for you to have a female conception or a male conception by the knowledge of science, you need to know 2 important things. The first one is you need to know your ovulation day, the day that ovulation happened. You have to know it. Then 2, you now apply the knowledge of your ovulation date to achieve what you want. So before we can talk about having a male child or a female child, we have to first of all understand how to pinpoint that this is your ovulation as a woman. If you're a man watching, please watch through, understand it so that you can teach your sister, you can teach your wife, you can teach your friend. Okay, the main thing is understand it. Once you understand it, you can explain to anybody. Okay, so I'll start with ovulation. There are 5 methods that I'm going to be talking about through which you can know your ovulation. Okay, the first one is calendar method. Calendar method means every first day of your menses, that's the first day your blood begins to flow, you go and record that date. If you have a calendar, you can circle that date. Do that consecutively for like 6 months. After 6 months, try and count like the first circle, that's from the first day to the second circle, from the first day of your menstruation blood till the next circle, the first day. How many days was it? Note it. If it was 28 days, 27 days, 30 days, note it. Then from the second circle, when that's the second time you noted your circle, the first day of your circle, to the next time your circle started. So a circle is from the first day of your menstruation to the next first day of your menstruation. That is a circle. So count that for like 6 times. If you have a consistent regular number, maybe your cycle is every 28 days, that means your cycle is every 28 days. But if it's not every 28 days, because there are very few people who have accurately regular cycles, okay, so a good number of persons, in fact majority of persons don't have accurate regular. Like my cycle is not accurately regular. This time it could be 28, another time it could be 26, another time it could be 27, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. Okay, so when you've known your own and your own is not regular, what it means is that you have an average in mind, and it means that your ovulation does not come on a specific time of your cycle every time. But the golden rule to it all is that your ovulation is 14 days before the next menstrual cycle. So if maybe on the 11th day of your cycle, that you started menstruation maybe on the 1st of this month, and on the 11th day of this month, that was when you had your ovulation, it means that 11 plus 14 days, that is 25th of this month, that is when you're going to be having your next menstrual cycle. Now, that is the golden rule. So the first golden rule is that you should know that ovulation occurs 14 days before the next menstrual cycle. So for a menstrual cycle of 30 days, it means that ovulation occurred 30 minus 14, which is 16th day. So it means ovulation occurred on the 16th day. For a menstrual cycle of 28 days, it means that your ovulation for that cycle occurred 28 minus 14 days, which means your ovulation occurred on the 14th day. Do you understand it? Now, having understood that rule, that's for calendar method. So now it is advisable to use other methods to also be able to pinpoint your ovulation. So we've talked about calendar method. We are also going to talk about temperature method. Once it's ovulation time, temperature increases by 0.5 degrees centigrade. 0.5 degrees centigrade, an average of 0.5 degrees centigrade. So it's something that if you want to do, it means that every day you check your temperature. And you do it at the same time. Maybe once you wake up in the morning while you're still on bed, you check it, so that you make sure that it is consistent. You don't check, maybe yesterday you checked while you were still on bed, the next day you checked by 10 a.m. after you have finished drinking hot tea, or you have finished taking a jog or a warm bath. So it's not going to be the same. So you take it at the same time every day, preferably before you get out of bed. Okay, so that's your resting temperature. Okay, so you do that. You find out that if you take it at the same time every day, if you are not sick, like you're not having fever as a result of any other condition, maybe malaria or something, you're healthy and you're not sick, and you take it every day, you find out that you'll be having the same temperature with maybe very slight difference, 0.1 degrees centigrade or so. But on the day of your ovulation, you will see a significant increase, like 0.5 degrees centigrade. So maybe you have been taking it and it has been 36.1 degrees centigrade, 36.2 degrees centigrade, 36.1 degrees centigrade, 36.2 degrees centigrade. You see, it's the same thing every day. And on this particular day, you're not sick, nothing is all of a sudden is 36.6 degrees centigrade or 36.7 degrees centigrade. Do you understand where I'm coming from? You know that, okay, that's actually your ovulation day. Then after that day, the next day you check it again, you see it drops back to 36.1 degrees centigrade or 36.2 degrees centigrade. Please, these numbers I'm just using examples, okay? So you find out what it is for your own self. All right, so you take the temperature consistently every day. You find out that it is quite regular, it is the same thing, very slight changes, and then when it is the ovulation time, you see that there is a significant increase of about 0.5 degrees centigrade. And of course, if you compare it with the calendar method, you see that it is within that period when you're also supposed to have your ovulation based on previous recordings of how many days your cycle is. Now, another thing is your discharge. During the ovulation period, your discharge will be very slippery and light, more than it usually is. As a woman, we have discharges from time to time. Normal discharge, that is odorless and colorless, okay? But on the ovulation day, your discharge will be very slippery, and if you're cleaning with tissue after using the toilet, also you find out that it's as if the cleaning does not finish because the slippery nature is too much. Okay, so that is another sign of ovulation. Then another sign is pelvic discomfort. Although not everybody experiences that, but there are people who have very sharp ovulation pain. Like when it's time for their ovulation, they sense it. They will have like their pelvic their pelvic area will be so tense and full of pressure. Okay, they could feel the tense, either cramping or something. That is also another sign of ovulation, because ovulation means an egg is bursting out of the ovary. And for some persons they used to have slight ovulation bleeding, but everybody is different. Okay, so for some persons they could experience this, that's pelvic discomfort or slight ovulation bleeding. And then another method is the ovulation strip, where you actually buy the strip, like malaria strip, and then you put it when you use your urine to test it. Okay, especially early morning urine. So when you wake up, you urinate, you test it. When you test it, if it's positive, it means you're ovulating. If it's negative, it means you're not ovulating. All right, so that is also another method. If you've been using it all through, because it's money you're using to buy it, you find out that if you use it all through the cycle, for example, you say this whole cycle, let me use it, from the beginning you find out that it's negative, the day of your ovulation it will be positive. After that day pass, you check again, it will be negative until your next cycle. If you don't want to do it the entire cycle, you can do it around the period of your, that's when you think it's your ovulation period, you use the ovulation strip to confirm. Do you understand? For example, with all these methods I've given, you've checked calendar, you know that your ovulation period is usually around the 14th day or 15th day or 13th day from your assessment, how you have counted it month after month. Okay, and then you checked your temperature, so that today the temperature is 36.7, and I usually used to have 36.1. That's another sign. And then you also had slight abdominal discomfort, and at the same time your discharge is lighter than usual, so you're having signs all over that you're ovulating. We can use the strip to check to confirm. Okay, so now that I have explained different ways that you can know your ovulation, let's now go to the other part of the lesson, which is how to use your ovulation, the knowledge of when your ovulation is, to achieve the sex of the child that you want. For us to do that, I need to explain to us the viability of the sperm and the ova. The sperm lasts longer than the ova, that's the female ova. The sperm can last up to 72 hours, 48 to 72 hours before it dies off. So what does that mean? As a woman, if maybe you met your husband today, for example, you had sex together and he deposited sperm, he ejaculated into your system. Now, if you're ovulating next tomorrow, you remember it's today you had sex with him, tomorrow you didn't have sex, next tomorrow you didn't have sex, and that next tomorrow you ovulated, you get pregnant with the sperm that he deposited in you today. I don't know if you're catching the gist. So you met your partner today and he ejaculated sperm into you. You didn't meet with him tomorrow, you didn't meet with him next tomorrow, and that same next tomorrow that you didn't meet with him, see, 2 days have already passed since you met him and before you ovulated. But yes, you can still get pregnant because the sperm lasts 72 hours, 48 to 72 hours. So it means that sperm that he deposited in you 2 days ago is still alive in your system, is still alive in your reproductive tract, and it can fertilize that egg. That's all things being equal. Remember, we have reproductive issues. There could be medical issues, maybe blocked fallopian tubes or growth or stuff like that. But all things being equal, if everything is okay with the woman's reproductive system and there is no hindrance, the sperm that was deposited 2 days ago can get that woman pregnant. Now, having explained that, the viability of the female ova is shorter than that of the male sperm. Female ova lasts 24 hours. 24 hours, and I'm talking out of experience. Some school of thought can say 24 to 48 hours, but it is basically 24 hours. So when we're looking for a male child, we missed it like 3 consecutive times, because for a male child you have to hit the ovulation, as I'm going to explain now. So in trying to say, okay, wait, it has to be, the ovulation has to come before we go ahead and meet, not knowing that the ovulation already occurred, and by just missing it within few hours, maybe it occurred in the morning or last night and early hours of the morning, and then we met in the night after work and all that, is no longer viable. So the pregnancy did not occur, and then the circle was washed away as menstruation, so we have to start again. So that's why I'm saying I'm talking from experience, because the female ova does not last. It doesn't last as much as the male sperm. Okay, so work within the first 24 hours of your ovulation. That is from my experience. Work within 24 hours of your ovulation. All right. So having explained viability of sperm and of ova, now how do you achieve a male child and how do you achieve a female child? If you want a male child, knowing your ovulation, you have to make sure that there is no sperm in your system for at least 3 days before your ovulation. Okay, 3 days before your ovulation. Why am I saying so? The male sperm is faster than the female sperm cell. Remember I said that the sperm stays for at least 72 hours in the system. Yes, but within the first 24 to 48 hours, the male sperm, because there is X and Y chromosome, the X is the female, the Y is the male. So the Y is very fast, but it also dies off quickly. Do you get it? So by the time you have sperm in your system day 1, the Y sperm will be the one to reach, and if there is an egg there, it will fertilize it, which is a male. But by day 2, the Y is gone. What is left is the X chromosome, which is the female. So if you want a male child, you have to make sure that your ovulation is already happened. It has already happened. So that immediately you're meeting with your male partner, is the Y sperm that is going to fertilize the ova and it will be a male child. And then you have to make sure that there is no residual sperm in your system for at least 3 days before that ovulation day. Why am I saying so? If you met your husband 2 days ago and today is your ovulation, by the time the ovulation is coming out, the X chromosome which is left from the previous round is already there waiting, and that is the one that is going to fertilize it. So if you have a residual sperm in your system, it's going to be a female child, because it is likely the X chromosome that is left behind. So that is why I said for a male child, these 2 things must be in place. No residual sperm in your system. Wait till it is your ovulation before you meet your partner. That is 1. And then 2, meet within 24 hours of your ovulation. That is male conception. But for female conception, the reverse is the case. For female conception, it means meet your partner all through, so that you can have residual sperm in your system. So that residual sperm is going to fertilize your ova whenever it comes. So for example, you know your ovulation is going to be on the 14th. You can meet your partner from day 10, day 11, day 12, day 13. So you find out that by the time it's day 14, is already the one that was in the system, the one that was deposited in the tract some days ago, that will fertilize it, which will be a female. Okay, I hope this explains it. If you have any more questions or any clarifications, drop it in the comment section. I'll handle it. And like I said, disclaimer before I started this video, this is not to say that this must work, or that's this is exactly what it is. By science, this is what it is. But at the end of the day, everything lies in the hands of God. I know it because I'm a nurse and I understand how it works, and also it has worked for me. It has worked for me for my second child, which is a male. It worked for me very seriously, and I have also talked to people around me. I have taught people around, and it worked for them. So I'm wishing you the best. Please, when it works for you, come back to drop your testimonial that this worked for you. And in case you know someone out there who is looking for a male child or a female child, there are people who are looking for a female child. The truth is that the chances to get a female child is more than the chances to get a male child. So while for some others they usually have male, it could be that by coincidence, or the way their lifestyle is, they usually meet their partners during their ovulation, and then they have their male child. Of course, you know that ovulation time usually hits period for some females. So if you're a female like that, chances are that it's during your ovulation that you're going for sex, and then you get a male child. And while there are other persons that during the ovulation they are in serious pain and discomfort, so they don't want any sort of intimacy as at that point. So because they are not meeting their spouses during their ovulation, they are more likely to have a female child, because it is when they are not ovulating that they are more likely to accept intimacy or sex with their partners. So please, this is counseling section with Anita Omeke. If you were blessed, if you got any virtue from this video, the way you can appreciate me is to share it, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to have you till this moment. I do not take it for granted. Bye for now.